Well, good morning, guys and gals, and welcome into another episode here on Hook, Line, and Singer. I'm Bob Sellers, your host and resident, singing, fisherman, and sometimes cooking, doing some stuff in the kitchen. And that's what we're doing today. I actually haven't been fishing a whole lot lately. I've been busy here around home, but it's all been good. Oh, not to mention it's been super, super hot lately, and I've been traveling busy, which is a blessing. But kind of hurts the fishing. But today I am back in the kitchen. Listen, my dad has had this tomato vine bush. Are tomatoes grown on a vine or a bush or what? Anyway, I think it's a vine plant, tomato plant, let's put it that way, that has just produced hundreds and hundreds of little tiny cherry tomatoes, Tommy toes, salad tomatoes, whatever you want to call them. It's just been a crazy abundance of them this summer. I thought, what can we do with some of these? It's a terrible shame to see any of them go to waste. So I tried something recently and it turned out fantastic, and we're going to do it again today. Homemade salsa using small little cherry tomatoes. All you need is a food processor and a few ingredients. Let's go to the kitchen now and let me show you how I do it. Let's make some good salsa. Oh, how do you guys and gals like my shirt? See that? Definitely my new favorite shirt right there. Says no weapon formed against thee shall prosper on the back. I don't mind telling you folks, I'm voting for Trump for 2024. I think the other side is absolutely filled with lunatics. In fact, I think if we have 4 more years like the last 4 years have been, and they get the House and Senate, then our country might be no more. Enough politics. I try to keep those off of this channel, but I would encourage you to vote. Vote. November the 5th is coming quickly. So here we are back in the kitchen. This is my Ninja blender slash food processor slash shake maker. This thing does all kind of stuff. I'm going to trade this blender attachment though and get the food processor. It's under here somewhere. You can do smoothies and stuff with that thing also. Ellie and Luke got one of the Ninja Foodies for a wedding gift. It's kind of like a crock pot, but it does some other things too. Put you away. Y'all don't look at my dirty kitchen. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to Will Sellers. Today is his 19th birthday, and I've got stuff strewn out everywhere. I'm going to be making some smash burgers here in a little bit. Have it ready by the time everybody gets home from work and school. All right, here's our cherry tomatoes. I was out last night picking some of these and just putting them in my shirt. And my dad came out and brought me this bag, this Dollar General bag, that also known as a bathroom garbage can liner in our house. But here they are. Look how pretty, how delicious. All they need is rinsed just a little bit because they haven't had any type of pesticide, insecticide, anything like that on them. I'm going to rinse them and then straight into my processor here. So let's rinse them right quick. Alright. Just going to kind of take these by the handfuls. You'll notice in this video I don't do a whole lot of measuring on this. I'm going to just kind of eyeball it. Oh, by the way, when you're making salsa, there's no need to peel your tomatoes. At least not in a food processor like this, because I promise you, it is gonna chop everything. That's about filling that up, which is good, because when they get processed, it'll be a lot less. That's about 8 cups. 8 cups of those little delicious bite-sized tomatoes in there. Now I need an onion. Can't have salsa without an onion. Let's get to chopping. When you prepare food like this, measurements aren't important. Taste is a lot more important. You just want to get it to taste. So you can blend and add this and that as you go. Just taste it as you go along and get it like you want it. Frozen jalapenos just are really great for this type of thing. These are from my neighbor Mike Curtis, and as you can see, picked June of 21. Things keep a long time in the freezer, folks. Don't be afraid to freeze something or to use it just because it's been frozen a little while. Hey, it's been frozen. It's good. It's good. I'm going to slice these real thinly. Boy, that's so easy to do when they're frozen. And then I'm going to chop. I'm going to start out with 2. The last salsa I made had a pretty good kick to it. I like it like that. There's some in the family that probably don't like it quite as hot, quite as spicy. Jalapenos just aren't really that hot to me. They have a fantastic flavor. And anything you put them in, just about, make it better. Get a rough chop on those like that. And then start doing that deal right there. All right, I'd call that pretty well minced right there. And that's what you want. Other ingredient that I like to use is garlic. I use Jalapenos. If you don't know what Jalapenos is garlic in a jar. I guess a real chef would scoff at that, but let me tell you folks, I've never noticed a big enough difference between Jalapenos. Do I have any out? Don't think so. We use a lot of it. Go get some. That is garlic. You can find this in any grocery store, usually near the produce. Normally have it on a rack somewhere. Let's dice our onion up. I don't have to do this probably as fine as I'm doing it, because this food processor has blades, and I mean they are some bad dudes. Little horse today. Got to get rid of that. I've got a big weekend. I'm traveling up to Ohio, a couple places, and then into Kentucky on Sunday night. Leaving out in the morning for all of that. Looking forward to that. So I cut those kind of thin that way, and then do it just like I did that jalapeno. Just kind of use your knife as a guillotine. And just thinly slice. Remember how I talked about measuring? Same goes for this right here. Hey, if you like it chunkier, then just don't chop it as thin. My wife, however, loves onions, but she doesn't like them unless they're chopped up fine. So that right there is pretty doggone fine. Then the food processor is going to do the rest. My knives are Ninja too, by the way. Not an advertisement for Ninja, but they really do make some great products. So here are all the ingredients that you need for doing this the way that I do it. Cilantro is another one of those staples in salsa. However, I am not a cilantro fan. Again, if you are, then dump the cilantro in there. Be careful about how much cilantro you add, though. A little of that goes a long way. Let's put it that way. You can't really put too much onion, too much garlic. Be careful a little bit with your spices. We got chili powder, as I said, cumin, ground cumin, black pepper, salt, garlic, onion, jalapenos, obviously our little cherry tomatoes. So I'm just going to start eyeballing this. I'm going to add some of our onions, some of our garlic, and some of our jalapeno to these tomatoes, and then do a little chopping. I'm going to put that whole onion in there. My hands are clean, by the way, people. I see so many videos where people just go nuts when whoever's cooking or preparing food isn't using gloves. Number one, I'm thinking, they're the one that's eating it. Why do I care? It's not a restaurant. They're eating it. It's being served in their home. Number two, there's something called soap and water that you scrub your hands with well. And if so, then cooking is just as hygienic when you have good washed hands as it is if you're wearing gloves. In fact, a lot of times gloves are a little bit like a mask during COVID. Remember that? Everybody wore a mask, so they thought they were okay. Didn't take the precautions. The mask did nothing. Gloves do very little, because if you wear those gloves, they get dirty just like hands get dirty. And you can't wash gloves as well as you can wash hands. So that's my rant for the day. Notice I left the seeds in this jalapeno. That's what gives pepper its kick. If you're going for jalapeno flavor and don't want the heat that comes with it, I'm gonna do about 2 heaping teaspoons of garlic right there. Then don't put the seeds in. That'll make a big difference. I'm gonna go ahead and do some seasoning. Salt, don't judge me. I like my salsa salty, and I like the chips I get it with salty. So I'm gonna get some of this pink salt here. We'll start with 3. See how that goes. Get a little ground cumin. If you smell ground cumin, it smells like, that doesn't fit, so I'm gonna use my hand. It smells like fajitas. That's a big ingredient in fajitas. That's about a teaspoon of cumin. Do the same with this chili powder. Maybe a little less, half, 3/4 teaspoon of that. And some fresh ground black pepper. That probably came out to about a half teaspoon or so. Let's get our lid on and do a little chopping. I'm going to start by just pulsing this. Show you folks what it looks like. thickness and that sort of thing. See that right there? It's a lot thicker than what you'd get at most restaurants. Here we go. Nothing wrong with that. I'm going to put a little bit more salt. Now, once you've already salted something, whether you're just cooking or mixing like this, and you start adding more salt, be very careful. You can overdo it before you know it. Now, let's get it thin. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Really good. It will be even better once it refrigerates, has time for those seasonings and the onion and the garlic and everything to marry. So I think that's perfect, y'all. I may blend it a little, process it just a little bit more. My wife likes it really thin, and she doesn't like it as spicy either. So that to me doesn't really have any kick at all. And let's look on the side here. That has yielded 5 cups, so a little over a quart. Let's look at this consistency now. Oh, I was going to say, if it was me, I'd make it a little hotter. If it were just me, I'd put maybe 1 or 2 more jalapenos in there. But I think overall this is going to be just right. You see that's kind of restaurant quality thin right there. That's so good, guys and gals. And so easy. I give it a thumbs up. Y'all give this a try. Hey, if you like this channel, this content, please go ahead and click that thumbs up button to like it, and also subscribe and ring the bell to receive notifications. You'll never miss a new upload. I hope you've enjoyed this episode here as we made some delicious, you have to take my word for it, but no, don't take my word for it, try it at home. Made some delicious homegrown cherry tomato salsa. I hope you'll enjoy that. Hey, as always folks, just know that God loves you, so do I, and until next time, I'll catch you guys later. God bless you. Bye-bye.